Clashers Turin56 from iKonik here, bringing you another base breakdown video. This base here I attacked in iKonik War 113. I was able to get 3 stars, and I'll show you how. Um, Before I talk about this base and show you the replay, I want to tell you, just to put this in a little bit of perspective, this war here, I attacked this, my second attack, last couple hours of war, a really close war. This base had been attacked before, so this was a cleanup attack, and there was only 1 star on it. So in really close wars where every star counts, especially if there's already 0 or 1 star on this base, you want to use a safe strategy if you can. You want to guarantee yourself that 2 star because every star counts, and then have an attack that, if executed well, will get you the 3rd star as well. So I didn't want to use a relatively risky strategy such as Lava Loon, which I'm still learning a little bit, or even Gowiwiho, which I'm good at, but if something goes wrong, you're not going to get the 2 star. Those 2 strategies there are really effective for 3 stars if you can do them right, but if something goes wrong, you're going to get 1 star. And I needed to make sure I added at least 1 more star on this attack. So I chose a nice safe, a golem based attack, Gowiwiho with hogs on the end. I used the Gowiwiho, and was able to execute it well enough to get 3 stars. So that's the why of this attack. So now let's go ahead and talk about the how. So since this was a cleanup, I knew where all the traps were. We had Teslas here, and I believe here. And then he had all of his big bombs in the core as well. He had a double set right there. Part of the reason why I didn't want to hog this was the doubles there. There's that, and yeah, I think that's it for the traps. Okay, so breaking down this base, I knew that if I got a strong push from the south and I could take out these guys here, then I could easily push into the core and hollow out that core with a golem-based army. So that's why I chose the technique that I did use. Very easy lure to start off with. As you can see here, the clan castle range extends out over these 2 defenses here, so I dropped 4 total loons, 2 on each of those, and that bought me both of those defenses, took them both down because the air coverage is not good over there and the expo is aimed down, so I was able to sneak in very easily for a cheap investment on the lure, get me the 2 defenses as well. I knew there was a balloon in this clan castle as well, and that would not get me the lure, but since this isn't a hog attack, I wasn't too worried about that. I knew that my golem portion of my army could handle that once they got into the core and that loon came out. So I grab the lure, I bring them down south here, real standard clan castle kill, 2 witches, a wizard, my AQ is in there as well. And while that's going on, I drop my first 2 golems. I have 3 golems total, but I only drop 2 at first so they don't clump up. They push in here. I use wall breakers to open up those 2 chambers so they start doing work in here. And then start dropping a few wizards to build a funnel. Unfortunately, I didn't get my funnel up quite in time because when I drop my Barb King, he gets a little distracted and he drifts all the way around this side and is really only doing cleanup for me the entire attack, which is unfortunate, but still worked out. At that point, I get my jump spell down on this chamber right here, and I drop my last golem, so he'll push right into the core up here. So I've got about a dozen wizards, my AQ, the witches, and then the golems are all pushing in here, and they're able to hollow out this entire core. I use a heal spell and a rage spell in the core to help accelerate that process. It's a big core. There's not a ton of DPS in there, pretty much just the Teslas as far as DPS that can harm my golems and my AQ, but there's a lot of HP and I just want to clear that out. And at this point I drop in my hogs. I've got 10 hogs, they push in from over here, and I've got 1 heal left that I'm able to use right about in this area. And I still have a golem in the core, which is tanking pretty much all of these defenses up here as well. Um, so the key to this attack was really breaking down this base in sections and knowing what each portion of my army was going to be able to handle. So I knew with the 3 golems, my heroes, and just a couple wizards and the witches, I knew that the golem portion of my army was going to be able to handle all of that, probably that right there. And that left the rest of this for my hogs. Well, these 2 are already down. These defenses were going to go down pretty quickly to the hogs. Some of them were going to be distracted attacking in here. So those went down quickly. I knew that a heal right in the middle there was going to be able to get my hogs back up to 100% life. And then at the end of that, I knew I just had these 3 defenses over here. So it was just a matter of breaking this base down into sections, as it were, like that, and knowing which section was going to be handled by what portion. So the golem portion was going to handle all that south in the core. Hogs here without the heal, hogs here with the heal, and then just all my cleanup troops at the end handling that. And that is end up to what being, or easy for me to say, that ended up being what happened. So let's go ahead and clear all this off here and show you how this went down in real time. So here's the lure. Definite weakness on this base, no air coverage up there. Super cheap lure with a couple defenses down as well. Use the minion down there because I wasn't going to be able to find a good anchor with a ground troop. And then a few barbs to distract. The witches go down. AQ early as well. And while that's being handled, my golems come in here with the wall breakers behind them to clear it up. I had to time the wall breakers on the right side is over there because I knew that mortar was going to have range on my golem. And at this point, I dropped my Barb King a little too soon. My funnel's not up yet. I should have gotten my wizards down first to make the funnel, so big mistake on my part. Thankfully, it didn't hurt me. I was planning on that Barb King being in the core, helping that out, but the golems and my Archer Queen were able to do the job themselves, so I had to use the AQ ability early there to avoid getting taken out by that balloon. The Rage Spell and the heal are down there in the core, so those troops are starting to do really well. Still have 2 golems, or I should say a golem and 2 golemites in the core, and they're doing some great tanking for me. So here come the hogs. The archer tower and the mortar over there are distracted by the core troops. And as soon as some of those northern defenses start keying in on the hogs, I got that heal down on them, so I haven't lost any hogs to those defenses yet. And they're able to do great work for me taking out those defenses as well as helping out on cleanup as well. I was able to keep every single one of those hogs alive, and that was big on my cleanup. And cleanup is all we have at this point. So there you go, guys. That's the base breakdown for this one. The Gowiwiho attack. Good attack for close wars when every star counts, and you need to get at least 2 stars. You can royally blunder an attack like this and still get the 2 stars because of those golems pushing into the core, as long as you funnel even halfway decently, which I really didn't do right there. But a very effective attack, a nice safe attack for guaranteed 2 stars. Remember that strategy when you're in those tight wars and every star counts. Alright, you guys, this is Turin56 saying keep on clashing.